Big news coming in from China today, and that is that there is a new Instagram component that is tied to an NFT platform. This may change the course of how NFTs are looked at, invested in, and maybe the strategies around big corporations, enterprises. A lot is getting ready to change. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back into Tech Path. I want to get into it today. First story from the Defiant. China's Instagram chooses Conflux, the network for permissionless blockchain integration. So you've got some movement here now from China. A couple of things we highlighted in here. Let me zoom in on this since we're showing the box there. But it's called the Little Red Book. Chinese version of Instagram integrates Conflux Network permissionless blockchain, allowing users to showcase NFTs minted on Conflux in their profile and in the digital collection called RSpace. The other thing that the CTO of Conflux said is that China has initiated efforts embracing Web3 transition. To me, that's a big statement because, one, they know what's happening of being able to comply with the Chinese public party and where Web3 is eventually going to go in China in terms of adoption, because this is just one step in a very, very quick pace for what's going to happen here. So a little bit about Conflux. It is a permissionless layer one connecting decentralized economies, borderless, protocols. Kind of the typical proof of work, proof of stake model that you typically see on many of these. It is considered a fast and secure, scalable blockchain with zero congestion, low fees, and improved network security. Sounds like a lot that we talk about here on the channel, which is things like Polygon, Flow, all those that are really making big moves on this. Now you jump over to Conflux's official Twitter thread, and it says users can now showcase NFT minted on Conflux on their profile page in lifestyle platforms, digital collectible called the RSpace. This is back to the point. And you can kind of see, here's an example of what it looks like. I'll kind of zoom up on that a little bit, but it kind of has a little bit of a toy element. Interesting how this might play in. Remember, you're also dealing with a bit of a different, culture set. Anime, different types of art. There's when you look at the Asian cultures, which are fantastic around colors and just entertainment and kind of this explosion, I think they're perfect in terms of their likes for what might happen in Web3. So this could be a bigger deal than many people are looking at. Here's another tweet from them. Excited to announce Conflux app on the Ledger Nano S and X hardware. So this has been planned. Currently, the Conflux Ledger app is available as an unaudited developer release. So this is going to eventually roll out. This will be tied now, which is interesting because Ledger is an intriguing platform for a system like what's happening in China and we'll talk about securities and how that might apply in not only China, but Hong Kong. And because right now, if you're owning something, you put it on your ledger, you're kind of controlling your own assets. And this is something that I think the Chinese are not really into. They already control social to a certain extent. A lot of their population of how they integrate and interact with digital goods, especially around the digital Yuan, which is kind of the next evolution of what their money and monetary system is going to be. So very intriguing, this partnership. This was, of course, coming from one of the Chinese account tweets out there. It says, I did a little bit of research on the news that it became possible to buy and sell NFTs on the Chinese version of Instagram Functions, which is the NFT on Conflux virtual currency. And CFX, which is the Conflux, is backed by the Shanghai municipal government. So it can't be used in China. This is the question mark I have on, but you can kind of see the things that the marketplaces themselves, I'm going to highlight this, of what they're starting to move into in terms of actual use case of these NFTs. This will be something to watch, I think, in the near term. This is further into it, just showing some of these are some of the accounts. Think of this as like an Instagram page. But you can really see there's a lot of integration starting to already play into this around, and you'll notice there's Bored Ape Yacht, Azuki, Doodles, Moonbirds, etc. People are getting ready for maybe a massive move into the NFT space in the Chinese culture. So big one. Chinese Hanan to boost NFT oversight as digital Yuan trial ramps up. This was the trial we've been talking about. If you haven't watched some of our digital Yuan videos around China, This is a big thing because it will reposition one of the biggest GDPs, even though it is declining in terms of population, but it is one of the largest GDPs, top three in the world, and what that might look like. Couple things that were noted in this article is the Henan province is in southern China have vowed to increase oversight on the NFT space, promoting healthy development of sector to stomp out fraud and all that associated risk. Good for them. Likelihood is you could see something like this coming out of DC now, because guess what? The Chinese just printed an example of what maybe could happen in the NFT space. In a public notice posted, this was on just yesterday, January 29th, Henan's market regulator and 9 other agencies from the province outlined a lengthy plan to tackle the NFT sector moving forward. Obviously, it's going forward pretty quickly. Very interesting because this changes a lot of things in the NFT space for a market that is as large as the Chinese market. Further into what they were talking about today in Hong Kong, the SAR government released virtual asset policy as scheduled and welcomes fintech and virtual asset talents to gather in Hong Kong. So they're looking at this as a grab for Web3 technology, knowledge-based workers, and what this will mean in terms of enterprise growth and really economic growth around things like non-fungible tokens. Again, this is where I talk about this often, is that the United States has pretty much put themselves behind the 8 ball. Meaning, remember when when DARPA, when the internet was born, the U.S. pretty much said, okay, we're gonna really allow for this to occur. We're not gonna regulate it out of existence. We're going to amplify it, and boom, you had Silicon Valley just birthed. Back then it was a hardware and chip valley. Now it's a software and evolution and innovation valley. So this, I think, is a big deal in Hong Kong that now they're saying is naturally suitable for the development of Web3. Let me kind of zoom in on that. No matter how the outside world changes, Hong Kong is still a window connecting the mainland and overseas, a strategic buffer zone between China and the United States. A place where intelligence and funds gather, and a paradise for arbitrageurs. This, to me, is a call to action to some of the biggest companies in the world, some of the best talent in the world that are going to be building in Web3. So watch out for Hong Kong. Further into this, peculiar flavor of NFTs is thriving now in China. This is kind of talking a little bit about digital collectibles built on closed networks. Designed to appease regulators. Again, this gets back to the scenario. If you like closed networks, there's a couple things that are highlighted in here. This was in April of 2021. China hosted what cryptocurrency and art media outlets heralded as the first major crypto art exhibit. And then they also talked about a month after opening, Chinese regulators outlawed crypto trading and mining once again. This is, again, we've reported on many times, rattling the NFT community. And now what they've done is clear. They had this path set for a regulated NFT environment, and now they're controlling the enterprise systems that roll out within it. So smart, strategic, and could be a little bit in the way of, kind of, I won't call it conniving, but definitely in a position where they're outmaneuvering what's happening in the Western world around Web3. The Conflux Network incorporates a certain level of built-in inflation. More Conflux is gradually added to the total circ. And you'll notice today there are about 800 million. There's quite a bit more because this article, when was this done? Yeah, May of 2021. So this is quite a bit more now. So the economics behind this, if you like Flux, or Flow, it has a lot of the same similarities. So I don't know that this plays into it unless you're in a closed garden system, which is what the Chinese essentially are trying to build, most likely connecting a lot of these enterprise platforms moving forward. So big stuff here. Layer 1 blockchain explodes 150% as Chinese social media. This is of course, getting into what happened here with Conflux, trading now at about 5 cents at time of writing, about 150% up from its 2023 open at 0.022 cents. A couple of other points here. NFTs have a brighter future on Instagram than in Twitter. This is one, of course, we're playing with here in the US. Instagram not only has a much larger user base, which is 1.3 billion compared to Twitter's 365 million, but its engagement rate is much higher than what is seen on Twitter. That's another reason that I think Instagram is perfect for, and it's very visual, perfect for an NFT integration. Here was a couple things that we put here. Yeah, Instagram users will soon be able to mint and sell NFTs. And we talked about this quite a bit. I think this is going to be a big one. Here's Meta's tweet. Soon you'll be able to make, sell NFTs on Instagram, starting with Polygon. You can also now connect to Solana and the Phantom wallet. See information there. Of course, you can kind of jump over to OpenSea. But there's a lot here. There's going to be a lot more creator tools, I think, here. You can kind of see a little bit about what they're doing there. And I think the opportunity is going to be significant in terms of innovations. We have yet to see what I think will really change the dynamic around social media, around connecting communities, and being able to leverage that up into brands, especially around digital ID. Back to the whole front of what Polygon is doing with digital ID. All right, here we go. Top NFT artists now are launching projects on Instagram, selling out in seconds. This is one of the artists that was in there. And this AKU Dreams NFTs, they sold out in like 11 seconds. So again, this is going to be just a matter of time. Let me go over to this piece right here, was Mask. Mask, of course, is the one network that was attempting to try to get Twitter to move into integration. So if you look at what they're, let me kind of zoom in on this so you can kind of see. Let's go to full screen here on this one because this is a little hard to read. They're trying to provide kind of a roadmap of how to do this. Check out NFT projects, latest information, showing what it can do, how it's more accurate token and NFT matching mechanism. And you can kind of see they're flowing down a whole model here. And then you'll notice that even within it, they get in there a little bit with Elon. There he is right there. Boom. So I don't know. We'll see. Does Mask have an opportunity with Twitter? I'd love to get your feedback. Drop some notes down below. Let's look at Conflux and see a little bit here on where the chart is going. You can kind of see here a little bit on, yeah, so here was the big move right here. And it started to kind of go sideways a little bit, back down to about 5 cents, but still, nice big move here for some of those who were possibly holding on this. This is on the 2 hour. Let me go to the 4 hour real quick. Yeah, there you go. So you can kind of see a little bit sharper move. What was that for people that were in there on that thing up to its high? Woo, nice 143% move right there. And if you continue on down, let's take a look. Where did that, and even right now, you're still 73% up. As NFTs move to next generation adoption, even if we see it happen in closed gardens, even though I don't like that, at least it gets into mainstream, which will create, people's intrigue and curiosity to go explore more. And that, I think, starts to open up to the wider models around the marketplaces, the creators, gaming, all that starts to play in. If you guys are listening in on the podcast, make sure and jump over here to the YouTube channel. You get a chance to see all these charts, how we break things down. This is really what matters. And make sure and subscribe and hit the like button, because it's one thing to help this video kind of get out there for others, maybe learning about NFTs and the integration for the first time. The other thing you can do is check me out on Twitter. Follow me out there. I will engage with you. So just follow me at Paul Barron. It's that simple. I'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.